certainly has generated a lot of excitement this year.
In a few months' time, no one will even remember who won the stupid prize.
Wait, didn't you win a few years back?
Just finished your treatise, Eternal Alchemy Unified Field Theory.
Oh my, that was a long time ago. I was so young, so enthusiastic, so filled with ideas.
Any advice you could give me as I pursue my alchemical career?
Change schools. The eternal alchemy is unknowable.
Well, welcome back everybody who's ready to finish the chapter. We are returning here on Bract, on our quest to figure out what is going on with these magical artifacts that we've discovered through the use of our very old energy detector. We've just unlocked the awesome AED defense heal skill, which basically saves our life if we would die, as long as we cast at the right time. I never told you, by the way, but we also obviously get an F, a tool belt ability, right? Which is static shock here. We can use it to stun someone, so that's nice. Yeah, we're going to be on a little bit of an adventure deeper into Asuran lands now by crossing this bridge. Peacemakers are wonderfully guarding, so that's good. As we actually try to break into an Inquest Lab. So we've learned a lot about the Inquest over these past couple of videos, which is nice. And the Inquests are like, not just from the core story, but as we go into the expansions and stuff too. Honestly, such a big faction. It's really cool to get that detail in here nice and early. One of the things you guys should know about the Inquest is no one really knows who leads them. Like, their mysterious director at the very top of the chain, that's not something that the people of Tyria are particularly privy to knowing about. They're kind of, and it's for that reason that they almost seem a little bit nefarious and creepy and scary as an organization even. So, yeah, this is the lab we were talking about as well before, by the way. This is where the Brill Alliance, as you can see here, are trying to study the script. Shall we actually talk to the heart person? It's been so long since we've done it. Let's see what they're saying. So, researcher Hrapper. Hi, we have rocket boots now.
Everything has a place in the Eternal Alchemy.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Brill Alliance is studying script behavior, she says. We could use your help with our test subjects. Why are you studying the script? We know that Skrit intellect increases exponentially with an increase in the number of Skrit in close proximity to one another. We're testing this phenomenon to see if there's a limit on how far it can go. Okay, interesting. Well, I'll see you around. So, basically, yeah, they're getting Skrit together. The idea is they can communicate really fast and really high-pitched. I guess there's sort of a magical element to this as well. But so, we can actually quiz Skrit about various things. So, this here, a Skrit IQ test subject. What do you want? What do you want? What? And we could say, I believe you're masking your true intelligence. I shall expose your deception. What? Expose what? I intend to discredit your contrived mendancy through my verbal dexterity. Ouch, my head. Stop the hurdy head talk. Your subterfuge of incognizance will erode under my fulgent dupery. Mission accomplished, so we can freak him out here. So there's tons of little conversations you can have. I help you? You want to talk? I'm here to analyze your cognitive abilities. What? What do you want? I'm asserting your capacity for sophisticated communication with other species. No, hurts my ears. Use littler words. Very well. To what extent are you able to infer any meaning? Ow. Those were smaller words, we say. So it's kind of a lot of comic relief here. You can sort of really mess around and play with the script. There's a vista nearby as well on the roof of this lab. This is one of my favorite things about the Asuran areas. It's like, how do you get onto the roofs to get so many of the vistas? On the other races, it's often just like, hey, climb on this cliff. Do you remember the one we got the Divinity's Reach Dam ages ago, right? But these ones could be a little bit more complicated, a little bit more interesting quite often. In fact, if we look way up in the sky, you might find a very special place that hopefully I'll show you at some point. There we go. It looks like this is a way to climb up. Hopefully we won't find any Skrit or anything up here in sort of this more sneaky area. Let's see. There's the vista. Oh, no, we're going to fall. No! Oh, well, rest in peace to that then. I used the rocket boots. I was too greedy. We're on a mission anyway to find the Inquest, so whatever. It's fine, guys. In fact, we're going to meet Zoja in that Inquest Lab, actually, just up north a little bit here. Let's speak to the scout before we go anywhere.
There's some very interesting research going on in the Ak Wilds. Dr. Blint, as he insists on being called, has been distilling a drink from oozes, much to the chagrin of local peacemakers. Pruda, specifically, is investigating Blint's suspect practices. Also, Parna has been reconstructing a gate that she thinks will give access to an ancient transfer chamber. Quite exhilarating, really.
That really is exhilarating. If you go do that gate, Heart, you can find yourself going through an Asura gate and going back into the depths of Tyria, and even interacting with some extremely deadly destroyers. It's really fun. So you see this wall here? You see this force field? You see this lab? Yeah, that's the Inquest Lab. And look, there's even a data console there. That's the lab we're going to try to get into. But we're on the other side right now. We don't want them to see us too closely here. So let's go see what Zodja's plan is to actually get in. And we can see whether we can grab that artifact they took from us. So, continue our story on Welcome Visitors. Hello, Mr. Sparkles.
Zodja is waiting at the base gate. She seems frustrated. Follow.
Follow. I like him. He's such a cheery guy. He's not in the story enough in more recent years. So cheery. There's a little lightning bug here as well. So we come to another swamp. There's plenty of swamps in the Crichton regions, really. But there are the occasional ones in other areas of the world, this being one of them. Hey, Zodja. Oh, is this the front door, is it? Didn't even realize we were right next to it.
Mr. Sparkles here says you're less than happy. What's the problem?
This feculent hog of a door is my problem. Teo installed some nuke security method that I can't crack. Ugh, it's maddening. I've tried everything I could think of, but all it does is play the same message over and over. Care to take a look?
I'm pretty good at puzzles. Sure, I'll give it a try.
Use the terminal by the door and hurry. The sound of her voice is driving me into a killing frenzy.
Is Teo really that annoying? Okay, so we actually get some choices about how we get in here. We can brute force, or we can actually sort of play the game. Hey, Teo.
This is a restricted area, you tiny-eared cluster of misfiring synapses. Get lost. And if you're not a Sura, this is a restricted area, you empty-headed clown. Get lost. However, if you're on my crew, you ought to be inside already. So yes, you can come in. But don't be surprised if I dock you a day's pay and a few digits for wandering off. And rest assured, I will certainly laugh as you flail around for your missing fingers.
Does any of that gibberish mean anything to you?
Well, actually, maybe it does. So, what have we got here? Can we speak to her directly? She says, refracting and reversing the gate's power stones hasn't worked. It seems we need to make sense of Teo's nonsense to proceed. She seemed to be emphasizing certain words, didn't she? You're right. What were they again? Well, there was yes, there was surprise, and there was laughed. Could there be a motion sensor on the gates? It sounds stupid, but then it's Teo we're talking about. Try pantomiming. At least it'll be an amusing show for me and Mr. Sparkles. Will do, but if this doesn't work, I want to see you do some miming next, we say.
All systems nominal.
And he says, perhaps you are over-analyzing. Teo's thinking has been one-dimensional. The words in her message may be indicative of the solution. Good input, Mr. Sparkles, thanks. So we could do this, by the way, or we could just interact with the terminal and, like, try to bust through it. Like, so you have requested access to the Inquest Lab labs. Please enter your access code. And we could do... I don't know whether we, like, fail or miss our opportunity here. So instead of trying to bypass and do all of those, let's just check this out. So, well, the game's... This is something they did in Guild Wars 1 a lot. The game is teaching us about emotes. So here on the bottom left, I'm going to type /yes. And check it out. This thing just powered up here. So that's one. The second important word was surprised. Which I, as a fool, by the way, always spell incorrectly because I forget about the first R in the word. So surprised. And then lastly, laugh. And voila, it works.
Focus on recovering the artifact. Less chatter, more fighting.
Oh, come on, Zodja. We did well, though.
Initiating interaction protocol.
Okay, alright, fine. Your interaction protocols could use some work, Mr. Sparkles.
Hey! Who said you could figure out the security lock while I was away? Come back here!
Oh, God.
Spread out. I want full coverage of this base. Do not let them get to the artifact.
Whoa, we got knocked back. Zodja was charging ahead, and then she ran back to us. Okay, we got to locate the last piece of the artifact. So what, we're just going to run through here? Looks like there's bits of the base we can destroy here with our rifle as well. That's cool. All right, so let's talk a little bit about rifles, shall we? Our autos pierce, by the way. All of our attacks pierce now. If you remember on the warrior, only a few of them did. Well, all of them will here. Our autos will. So that's nice. We can fire a net at the people.
Defensive protocols suspended.
And the net will immobilize them. If we get close to someone, we can use this blunderbuss, which is like a shotgun attack that puts tons of bleed out. So there you go. We did a shotgun attack on this golem here. The skill 4 launches us back. It like explodes with such force we get knocked back, but it also knocks our target away. And then finally, one of the cooler abilities is jump shot, the skill 5. blast the ground and leaping to our target. So, what we can do is, from standing all the way over here, we can blast our way in. And we do damage when we explode away from our original location, and we do damage where we land.
I'm nigh invincible.
So, altogether, that sort of describes the gameplay you'll be seeing as I use this rifle. I really do like rifle on the Engineer. I think it's one of the more interesting weapons because we get our own, like, we can knock ourselves back with the overcharge shot. That's like a really rare thing in the game. Not many classes get something like that.
Hello, Teo. We made it past your security. Why do you look so concerned? Don't tell us we caught you with your pants down.
On the contrary, my pants are securely fastened. Don't act so smug. I've been one step ahead of you since we met, and now I'm about to step on your heads. Your artifact is safely here, and now I get to kill you all without leaving the room. It's like a free victim delivery service.
It's not free, Teo. Stealing my crew's hard work is going to cost you a lot.
Alright, well, we best follow up on that threat there. So we get Defeo. We get to fight Teo. We're going to actually try to defeat her.
Unit designation, Mr. Sparkles.
Okay, Mr. Sparkles. So we'll knock her back, and hopefully, if she's back there, she will fight Mr. Sparkles instead of us. And we can just sort of grill her down with the rifle here. I'll show you what the stun looks like from the AED, by the way. We get in, and we whip her, and she gets stunned for a second. That can create an opportunity for us. Sometimes skills like that, you might think, oh, that looks really weak.
Oh, Zoja, you and your pets are so adorable when you get all feisty.
But generally speaking, that's, you know, they're things that are more useful in PvP and World vs. World and when you get to raids and stuff. Like, that means that this is break bar damage, right? Against really dangerous boss attacks and stuff. Let's kill her with a rocket kick. Yeah! Down you go, Teo. At the end of the day, it comes down to brute force, and we have you beat.
You have my attention.
Damn. Okay, so, is this the artifact? It is! Right here on the desk.
We got what we came for. Teo's piece makes 3 out of 3. They fit together perfectly. Now, what do you think it is?
That's easy. I'd recognize this design aesthetic anywhere. What we're looking at is a key to a certain ancient genius's lab. Ever heard of Gad?
Of course. I learned all about him in my studies at the College of Statics. He was one of the best. And this is the key to his old lab?
The lab that no one's been able to open in over 200 years. And we're going to be the first ones to see what's inside since old Gad himself.
The Voet continues to deliver. Meet me at Gad's lab, and we'll see what a historic genius wanted to keep for himself.
Oh, yeah. So, at the end of the last episode, I did show you that pillar that talked about Gad. Again, this was a character from the original game, a cantankerous, nasty old guy, actually. Is this rifle even better? No, it's exactly the same. Look at that. That's hilarious. A nasty, cantankerous old guy who met his demise during the story of the original game. And, well, we get a little bit of fan service towards him here. This could be potentially massive. I can't wait to see inside Gad's lab. What can you tell me about Gad? Gad was a legend. One of the most brilliant, most accomplished, and crankiest geniuses ever. When he died defending the old Golem Foundry, remember we found the marker, the historical marker for that? Everyone assumed that his secrets had died with him. And we'll be the first to see what he left behind. I'll meet you there, we say. So that's pretty brilliant. I think, by the way, I'm not 100% sure, but is there something else? So here we can use jump shot to land on this, right? So you can do kind of cool stuff like that with the rifle. Wasn't there like something extra we could interact with in this base, maybe? Maybe under the stairs or something? I could have sworn there were more.
Look at these cages. Is there any sentient being the Inquest won't run pointless, painful tests on?
See, look, Zodger has extra stuff to say. What is actually in there? Oh my god. They got tons of stuff in there. Can we free them?
Hang on to your ears. It's a stampede.
Oh, we can release them and they'll all stampede out. That's hilarious. So look, a mower. Okay, guys, go. Be free. Be free. Oh, they're actually destroying the machines and things. That's even better, probably, actually. All right, go, guys. Go. All right, cool. So, yeah, Gad's last gizmo. Let's use the key to access his lab. We probably want to break out. There's even a chicken. Great. All right, I'm glad we freed those guys. I thought there was something extra we could do. And, well, it turns out there was. So where is his lab, I wonder? Oh, not too far north, actually. And we get a hero point nearby, actually. So that's pretty good. Let's head on into the McCohen Marsh. So I've got some other fun things that I could talk to you guys about, actually, out here. In these marshlands, in these swamps, and particularly in this region of the world as we head more west, which we won't get to explore a lot more of until the first expansion, but we will find here a race. These guys. They are the Hylic. They are a race of sun worshippers, kind of considered one of the lesser races of Tyria, but they are sentient, they do speak to us, they do request our help. Sometimes you'll find enemy ones, sometimes you'll find allied ones, but there's actually a lot of them to interact with in the early Asuran areas, which I actually kind of like. Let's speak to some of them.
What do you need?
Anything. Do you just want to say hi? Do you just want to interact?
Busy. Please speak quickly.
He just sounds grumpy as all hell. I swear, playing this with you guys, I'm getting all this audio that I don't think I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever heard one of those guys say that. Chief Zoctic. He says that foul Coatl tribe, they do nothing for themselves. They only want to take from others. What do you mean? They constantly raid our village and ambush our hunting parties. They steal because it's less effort than gathering. Someone should put a stop to them, we say. So yeah, these guys are alchemists. Wow, he just ate a sparkfly. Did you guys see that? Oh my god, he actually ate an ambient creature. I didn't know that they did that either. There's a merchant here. What does he sell? Oh, just regular stuff.
Goodbye.
Yeah, these guys are alchemists, and I think that's kind of cool as an engineer because we can kind of suggest then that maybe some of these potions we're learning as we level up, we're getting from them. And in fact, we can do exactly that here. If we beat this hero point in the swamp, we can use it to unlock a new potion for ourselves and a little bit of the alchemy tree. That should be quite fun, right? So let's head on over. Looks like it's in the wall near this Inquest Lab we were just at. And what do we have here? Some kind of a panel. The test panel is blinking with energy. The Inquest are definitely up to something here. Activate the panel. Uh-oh. And it's a Golemancer who won't even speak to us. They just have some holographic golems that they are summoning to fight us. So actually, this guy really hurts. I'm actually a little bit concerned right now. Let's knock him away. We don't have any summons or anything right now. We're still like so early in the game that we're limited in what we can do. We've done massive damage here though, so that's good. And don't forget, we got the AED. If we would die, it will save our life and like put us back to almost full health straight away. So we just got to use it with good timing. There you go. So we can complete the hero challenge. Now we have 2 points. And let's buy this. Elixir B. Drink Elixir B to gain fury, might, retaliation, and swiftness. So this is like a supercharged, do lots of damage potion. Okay? And we can shatter it at our feet as well for a ton of boons as well. We get fury, all kinds of good stuff. So that's good. And here we go. So this is Gad's lab. Not too far away. No one's ever gone in there. But by combining all the pieces of the ancient artifact, we will. Hey, Zolja.
This is thrilling. I've been wondering what's behind this door since I was an apprentice. I just wish my mentor... No, he probably already knew. Anyway, now it's our turn. Let's open her up.
Her mentor being Snaf, remember? You can almost hear that she's still upset about it, even there in that line, right? You gonna try it, Zolja, or are you gonna wait for me?
All systems nominal.
Standing by for instructions. If you say shine, Mr. Sparkles will say, how bright? I love his voice. He's so cool. Keep your sensors on max and stick close. Zolja. All my life, I've heard blowhards blather on about the key to progress and the key to wisdom. But we're holding that key. Amazing. Is that it? It is that. Come on, let's see what there is in there to see.
You have something to discuss?
By the way, Gad as a character name is actually named after one of the designers.
Surprise, surprise. Looks like the door is booby-trapped. Watch it.
All right. So we get more of these holographic golems. Let's drink our elixir. And let's throw...
Feedback loop initiated. I'm nigh invincible.
Another one there on everyone down there. So look at this. We've got 10 might, fury. Look at all these boons, guys. Tons of boons from Elixir B. It's honestly so strong. And that's something we'll be great as engineers. Boon spammers.
Hello. If you're hearing this message, I'm either not in or dead. In either case, you're trespassing. Get out. Failure to comply may result in one or more of the following: blindness, crippling injury, severe bleeding, immolation, electrocution, death, and/or loss of appetite. Your agony may vary. Your death may be monitored for quality assurance. Thank you. Now please run for your life and never come back.
Same old Gad, and his creations are still functioning after 2 centuries without maintenance. He was a cranky old cuss, but he built things to last.
Color me impressed, and a tad concerned. If his defenses are as sharp as he was, We'd better watch our step.
Wow.
Last warning, you idiot. Get out while you still can, or face certain annihilation.
Oh, I don't believe that we'll be certainly annihilated. We've seemed good enough through this adventure so far.
My attention.
All right, she says the same stuff there. So, Gad actually has a different voice actor in this game to the original. He used to sound way older in the original. But maybe we could say it's because this is a hologram, and the hologram looks younger than the Gad we knew 250 years ago, or something like that. But oh my god, okay, so we've got traps, and we've got to do it. So there's some scrap metal there. Let's get the timing right, ready? So we're going to have to skip past now. Go. Okay, that's one. What does the scrap metal do for us? Well, we can just pick it up. I guess we'll keep it for no apparent reason. So then we get another one here. Wait for it. Okay, go, 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 go. All right, good. Oh, my lord.
Don't look so smug. That trap was merely a warm-up. Maybe you should rethink this little invasion of yours. It's decidedly imprudent.
Okay. Well, so we're going to have to disable this barrier. There is no way I'm going to try and walk through that. That looks ridiculous. Okay. But you notice we've got 2 panels. Oh, it's even shooting us. One circuit. This circuit supplies partial power to the energy field. Should be easy to short out. Well, let's use this metal in our hands to short it out. Oh my god, there's a spark in there. Wow. It's actually summoning elementals. That's insane. I love this. Go exploring old Asuran labs. This is like what it should be to be an Asura. Brilliant. It's just a shame we don't get to go deeper underground more often, right? There's another one there as well. God, there's actually loads. Well, we get more scrap metal here, and you can probably already get the picture. We go up to this one. Same deal.
Oh boy, the sludge is about to hit the flywheel.
And down it goes. Let's use our shotgun blunderbuss blast to hit them in an AoE. And whew, they're down. Good.
Defensive protocols suspended.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Getting this far is impressive, I'll give you that. But you're not out of danger yet. In this laboratory, I have harnessed unimaginable forces beyond your comprehension, and I'm about to unleash them on your face. Turn back now, or I'll enjoy desecrating your bones on my return. The pain you are about to experience will outlast your consciousness.
The funny thing is, he's not even exaggerating yet. Still, if he's this determined to stop intruders, there must be something worth protecting here.
My thoughts exactly. I respect Gad and all, but we've come too far to give up now. Sorry, old man. Your secrets will be ours.
So, and they even call him old man, right? Like, I don't know. Bit of a shame. So here's a hologram. We can activate it. This does feel like, I mean, look over there. It does feel like we're in the last room of the lab. So what do we got?
Don't worry about repercussions. Focus on inflicting concussions.
Oh my god. It's a destroyer. So, destroyers are pretty bad. This guy's invulnerable as well.
It's breaking the containment pods.
Destroyers are minions of the Elder Dragon I've been talking about. Primordus, the Elder Dragon under the ground, still at large. These are the creatures that forced us to the surface all those years ago. My god, it broke all of the pods. And so there's tons of destroyers here. Destroyer hatchlings, which are sort of more minor destroyers, obviously, and a matriarch up here as well.
It's weakening. Keep attacking.
Guild Wars 2 so far isn't really about fighting this Elder Dragon too much, but especially for the Asura, it's it's their biggest threat, right? As Jormag, the Ice Elder Dragon, is the biggest threat to the Norn, we can certainly consider this Elder Dragon as more important to the Asura story than any of the others. So it's kind of cool that we actually get to fight it. Why did Gad have a destroyer in his base? And down it goes. We got some really meaty hits there after drinking the elixir.
We made it! Gad, you magnificent malcontent, we've got your number. And we've got this fascinating device Shrieksy found.
Everything in Gad's lab is worth studying. Tuck whatever that is away, and we'll give it a good going over back at your lab.
Done. And am I crazy, or was that containment field holding back destroyers? That alone could revolutionize quasi-physical restraint field theory.
You're not crazy, Savant. If we'd had those fields back when, well, let's just say more than a few battles might have turned out differently. This was a full-on 100% win. Not everyone can keep up with me, and most don't care to try. Ordinarily, that would suit me just fine. But you're all right. I'll definitely be calling on you again soon. Now let's get that gadget back to your lab and examine the stuffing out of it.
So, what was she referring to there? Well, first of all, just the idea of being able to have a containment field that stops the destroyers, these abominable creatures that have pushed back this race for so long and hounded this race for so long. Yeah, that's huge. But quite specifically, when she was a member of Destiny's Edge, they did have numerous conflicts and encounters with destroyers, and so she's actually reminiscing on a specific moment there. So we get a letter from Zodja here who says, Gad's lab was quite the fortuitous discovery. There were unforeseen side effects, but you handled yourself brilliantly. We get a box of lab equipment, and we get some ragamuffin toe shoes. This chapter's like okay. The main reason I want to show you this chapter as opposed to some of the other ones, like the chapter where you have the MiG is really cool. You like it's a love story where you get to sort of see Asura upload their consciousness into machines, and there's sort of maybe some more fun decisions you get to make. However, the idea of the VOD, the characters we met in this story, will become relevant later, so this is the one I really wanted to show you all. Zodja, how's it going? She says, Gad was truly amazing. Just look at that destroyer containment field. Phenomenal! If we'd had this way back when, we'd still have an underground empire. Incredible. Now to figure out how it works. Yeah, and this is a bit of nostalgia, I think, for the Guild Wars 1 players out there as well. Standing by for instructions. If you say shine, Mr. Sparkles will say how bright. We already read that, obviously. So that's great. And yeah, we get to know Zodja quite a lot in this arc as well. Possibly more than some of the others too. Obviously, she interacts to various extents. Zodja herself is actually synergetic, so if you're interested in making an Asura, synergetics, you can't go particularly too far wrong with being a synergetics character. And there you have it. So we get to visit Gad's lab, and that is Chapter 1 complete. That's not the end of the video, though. We're going to go flying straight into Chapter 2. I'll be back in a second when we're ready for it. Alrighty then, so we are now level 20. That means we get 2 more utility slots, we get more points which we can spend, and also I wanted to show you guys what it looks like when we run a shield. So here I have a Peacemaker's pistol and a Peacemaker's shield.
What formula to apply and how to account for the variables.
I have you no intellectual interest in anything beyond your current project?
Not remotely. Let the College of Statics find uses for my work.
God, there is so much conversation going on out here. So many Asura we could listen to and figure out. I wanted to show you guys here, though. Check it out. There is actually an Asura gate here, embedded into the ground. That is how you get up to the council, which we'll be doing pretty soon now, actually, to be honest. But also around here in the very center of the town, you can find the cultural armor smiths. So I figure, hey, now that we are progressing a little bit more up the ranks, we got to win and snag ourselves the Snaf prize.
No refund.
How about we check out some cultural armor? So the lowest level cultural armor for medium is the Protean stuff, which looks like this. Voila. So we're looking a little bit more Asura-y now. We might turn the headpiece off, actually. This is my, as always, crappy dye job. You guys will just sort of have to deal with it for now. But that looks reasonably engineering. Maybe we can get something else later, but I quite like wearing the cultural stuff where we can. And yeah, we got a mail. So what does Zodja have to say? Remember, in the story now, we've had a bit of a break, right? So she says this: dangerous and annoying developments. She says, I'm having a really bad day and I need to vent. My nemesis is back in town and he's determined to make my life miserable. He's Inquest, so it's only a matter of time before he adds injury to insult. Come by my lab and lend an ear, okay? So look at all this bonding we've done with Zodja. Look at how, like, she's happy to lean on us emotionally. It's great. So we are going to go to a lab we haven't been to yet now. This would be the Snaf Memorial Lab, where, of course, we would find Zodja, Snaf being her mentor. Let's get on into Chapter 2, where credit is due.
You have my attention.
I got your message. It was a tad on the cranky side even for you. What's on your mind?
Violence. What do you know about a wretched little pipsqueak named Kudu? Cross-reference criminal, megalomaniac, and plagiarist.
I've heard of him. He's an Inquest bigwig now, but he used to be Snaf's apprentice. Then you came along and Snaf traded up.
That's him. Now, out of pure spite, Kudu's invited me to watch him demonstrate some sort of weather-changing device for the Arcane Council.
My first invention was a weather changer. I called it the Variable Atmospheric Conditioner. Good old VAC. It got me accepted to college. It was pretty rough, but it worked, mostly. And if Kudu is using my invention without giving me credit, I'll call him out in front of the whole council.
I was hoping you'd say that. Get a copy of your blueprints from the archives. We'll wipe that smug little smirk off Kudu's insufferable face.
Okay, so pretty interesting stuff here. Kudu was Snaf's apprentice. Then Snaf just dumped the poor guy for Zodja. So they were both Snaf's apprentice. She eventually was his preferred one. And then, of course, during their adventures 5 years ago, Snaf passed away, leaving Kudu, I mean, he'd already been abandoned and left alone. So I can imagine these two being enemies and having some grudge between one another.
You have something
We can speak to Zodja a little bit more deeply about Kudu here. And Kudu's a fairly important character in the game, by the way, that you will only meet if you do this story with the trans-atmospheric converter. So that twerp Kudu won't get away with this, she says. I'm going to ram my fist down his throat and punch his stomach. Who's Kudu again? What, were you educated in an electroshock lab? He was another of Snaf's apprentices, and now he's a part of the Inquest. Can I ask you something else? What's this demonstration all about? Kudu's beta testing some kind of weather machine, and it's based on your specs. He thinks you aren't bold enough to step up and call him a plagiarist, but we know better, don't we? Oh, hell yeah, we do. Arcane who's or what's-its? Who are they? Have you been inhaling brain cleaner, she says? The Arcane Council are the leaders of the most important crews in Ratasum. They rule the city. And we, of course, have been inhaling something iffy there because we already said that we were familiar with a member of the council.
All systems nominal.
Speech protocols initiated, awaiting command. Command? I can order you around? Voice recognition patterns not accepted. Stand down or be cut down. Whoa, never mind, we say. So yeah, this is the Snaf Memorial Lab. It's an interesting little lab where a few different stories take place. This point of interest is called Zodja's Workstation, Don't Touch. And we can presume that this is actually where Zodja spends a lot of her time. It's kind of like this would be Zodja's home instance, if you will. So yeah, let's not fiddle around with her stuff too much. Let's get out and speak with the records clerk to figure out what our schematics were for our original invention. And we're just going to go do that up in our college area, which we haven't really spent too much time at just yet. Up at the top of the city, if I remember rightly anyway. Yeah, so down here at the college is Synergetics, actually. Not our college, but I guess this is where they keep the records. We'll equip some cool new skills and stuff in a second as well, guys. Alright, experts from Synergetics. Do you guys say anything interesting? It doesn't look like it. No. But Archivist Grep, hey dude.
Embrace simplicity.
What can I do for you? I need to look up a blueprint for a variable atmospheric conditioner. 1 moment, please. I'm sorry, I can't find any information about such a device in our records. What? There should be a patent on file. It was my first, so I'd remember. Worry not, we'll keep the physical backups of all our patents at our secondary facility. I'm sure we'll have a copy of your patent there. Damn, okay, well, I'll go check it out. Thank you very much. So they don't even have a record that we made it? Could this have been the Inquest messing with us? Pretty frustrating. So the quest is actually asking us to go back through the Asura Gate, back to Metrica Province. Well, lucky for us, we already unlocked some nice waypoints nearby. So earlier, you guys saw we went to Gad's Lab. Just north of Gad's Lab is, funnily enough... Oh, never mind. Amazing, actually. I tried to go to a haven near Gad's Lab. This was Gad's Lab. This is a haven on the Lions Road, as close as it comes to Ratasum. This is the end of the Lions Road. But it seems that the place is under attack, and the waypoint has become contested. So that is a thing I guess I haven't shown you. It is possible for enemies in the open world to capture locations, to take them for themselves, and they will be held in enemy control until the players go out there and actually capture them back. So this is a haven on the Lion Road, like many we've seen everywhere else. If you think about it, right, this haven is miles and miles away, but does actually connect to those ones we saw when we were playing as a Char before Tyrix. How cool is that? So here on the outside, you can see some spider egg sacks and stuff. But check it out. Defend the supplies from the Arterium Haven from Hylic. So there are Hylic actually attacking this place, and that's why it's under attack. And look, players have noticed a dynamic event is going on, and they've come over to the area. Look, there's an Asura standing on all these boxes, trying to defend it. There are Skrit actually fighting alongside them. And yeah, these are the Lion Guard, right? Like, so they're over here. I wanted to immediately come here because off screen I actually unlocked this waypoint. But I guess we had to go on a little bit of a walk anyway. We'll trust that they've got that handled. We're going to use our rocket boots to fly along and go really quick. You'll notice, by the way, we can use rocket boots twice in a row. It uses the same ammunition system as Kick did before. So that's fairly good for us as well. Should we get a new one? So what should we actually pick up here? Man, we've already seen some elixirs. We've seen some gadgets. Oh, I guess we should do something cool here. Let's get some turrets, okay? So turrets are what you'd expect. They're a lot like what we had in that instance before. We'll bypass the healing turret here, and so we can equip that. We now have a heal turret for our heal skill, And we've got a rifle turret. And they're just what you'd expect. When we activate the skill, it places the turret down. The turrets, when they're originally placed, they overcharge, and they do like a special attack for a bit that's a bit more offensive, and then which is why he's glowing like he is there. But then eventually the overcharge goes away, and now just whenever we get into a fight, this thing will shoot for us. We can blow it up to destroy it, like so, or if I pick up my heal turret here,
invigorating.
His heals in the area, drops a water field, all kinds of nice stuff. Or instead of blowing up, we could just press F to pick it up, and it cools down quicker. So that's kind of nice. Then we also get the tool belt things as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But let's actually carry on with the story here and go see our archives at this cool place over here. This little town we're headed to is called Decider Atom. There's actually a ton of different Asuran story steps that can take place here. I think this is the only one that we will see for the choices we picked.
Can't breathe. Smoke choking me. Sentences.
Inquest! Tonight got a stomachache!
Yeah, burn it all. Every last bit of it.
My god, the Inquest are going mental here. What is this?
I'm glad you're here. I heard Kudu's lackeys were going to attack the archive annex. Looks like I heard right. Kudu knows what he's doing. I'll give him that. The fire started in the records room, and all the Peacemaker golems have been deactivated.
He's one step ahead of us then. The blueprints for my weather device are also missing from the archives. The only backups were stored in this annex.
Which is on fire. Come on. Without those blueprints, the trail leading to Kudu goes up in smoke.
I like this story step because it's like, in theory, it's not anything serious right now. We just don't want him taking credit, right? Because she has a personal grudge, and we have a grudge too because it's our invention. But all of a sudden, things have got really serious back there. Look at that fire. Maybe Plunker will have more information, she says. I hope for her sake that she does. So arson, theft, and intellectual property mismanagement? How does Kudu get away with it, we say? Well, he was Snaf's apprentice, says Zodja, and people assume he's a Class A genius. They're wrong, but they're also stupid. Fine, but I'm not giving up so easy, we say. Kudu stole my idea. Can't we take this to some kind of patent police? We are the patent police. And by that, I mean we have to handle our own problems. We are Asura, after all. Yeah, the Asura are kind of individualistic in some ways. Not so much as the Norn, but it is an interesting facet, right? Like how their crews work together and hoard the information that their crew learns together. Like, information patenting is like a big part, actually, of being an Asura. If that's the way it works, then I'm going to handle this all the way to the end. Let's go. I'm not even going to speak to you, Mr. Sparkles, because you were rude to us a second ago. And look, there's fires and things. We should probably help out. So I'm going to drink my Elixir B here because it gives us swiftness and we can move forward quickly. And we'll fight with some turrets and show you what these look like. So, there's a Golemancer. We drop the rifle turret, and away it goes. Shoot, shoot, shoot. We drop the heal turret.
All right there, pal. Nobody gets past us.
And they all go a bit mental. We're also running pistol shield here. So, shield, we can block with, or we can throw it out and interrupt them, and it will boomerang back to us. Different to how the warriors use the shield. Or, we can also channel it to reflect gunfire and stuff that comes at us back at opponents. So, that's how the shield works. We can combo it here with the pistol. Way later at the end of the game, we'll actually be able to use a sword to go with the shield. But that's not going to be for a while. Not at least until level 80. When we get one of our elite specializations that unlock totally new weapons for us. So a hell of a lot of fire. Who are we looking for in this fight? It's a bit miserable around here right now, actually, isn't it? More Inquest up here, so let's try and deal with these.
This is Inquest business. Don't interfere.
So we can drink our thing, and you'll notice how much more pressure we put out now. It's really nice. We can rocket kick. We can throw our elixir on the ground. So the tool belt skill for the hill turret is this. It's regenerating mist,
protocols suspended,
which just creates a mist around us. But it's actually really nice because this creates a small water field, which we can then blast in using our shield. So I'll show you that in a second.
Stop us, you brainless
I'm nigh
nincompoop.
invincible.
Nobody can.
We'll throw the shield out to interrupt them and stuff. And when our F1 comes back, I'll show you how that works.
You've been struck.
For now, this seems pretty good. Get some poison going. All right, so we'll drop our heal turret. There's an insect hitting us. What is this? Oh, no, the Sparkfly's allied, I guess. So, yeah, here, if you watch, when we're low on health, we can press F1 and blow our turrets up really quickly. And we can create these big splashes, explosions of water around us, which heal us. So there's all kinds of crazy little combos like that and combo fields and finishes that Engineer gets that other classes don't get in so much abundance. Because you just have so many skills available all the time. And they're all, like, really nuanced. I think early designs and the way that the devs talked about engineer, it's more of like an expert class. I don't know whether that really works for Guild Wars 2 of today, but certainly at launch it felt like that. Okay, so even more stuff. We got some water buckets.
Nearly gone. Fan those flames. Make it burn faster.
Do we want to put out the fires? Can we put out the fires? I don't even know. I guess we'll just try and take these guys out nice and quick here. The tool belt skill from the turret is this. Very simple. It's just called surprise shot. We just shoot another bullet out. Really easy. One of the most simple abilities you'll find in the game. We just fire a surprise shot. There you have it. Okay, water buckets. Can we put all this out? We've got to... Please don't destroy the archives. Please. I want to be able to change the weather again. Not that we ever could. We never had funding, but I guess if the Inquest is going after it, they can.
How can you be helped?
And this doesn't look very good, though, guys.
We're too late? The evidence we needed to prove Kudu stole my idea is now a pile of ashes, soot, and failure.
Not a failure, a setback. Now that we know Kudu's up to something big, we just need to figure out what it is and how to stop it.
I'm ready. Plagiarism and arson are one thing, but wiping out all records of my very first invention. I'm going to tattoo Kudu's butt with boot prints.
That's what I like to hear. One of Kudu's lackeys has a lab nearby. Her name is Plunka, and I bet she still smells like smoke. Meet me at Plunka's lab. I predict she's just dying to tell us why Kudu wants your weather changer.
Good, we have a lead. Thank God. This did not go well. Not only was this place destroyed and we could hardly save the people here, but we didn't even get what we were coming for. So here we get our hearts again. This time we get yellow, green, or blue, sapphire, emerald, or topaz. Let's get topaz. Topaz is cool. And let's equip one of those. It's always nice to get to this moment. Voila. Zodja, what do you think about all this?
Greetings.
She says maybe Plunka will have more information. I hope for her sake that she does. Oh, actually, I guess we just say the same thing here, actually. That's really weird. The way that they handled the dialogue there is super strange. Here, by the way, you'll notice our turret is still up. These don't time out. When you place them, they're down, right? Unless someone breaks it, or we deliberately blow them up and break them, they will stay there. So pretty good, pretty interesting skill. And no other profession really gets anything quite like that. All right, cool. So let's go to the inner complex and get our move on. This might be quite far away, though. This might be quite deep into the map. Let's have a look here. Where's the inner complex? Yeah, it's quite far away. I guess what we'll do is we'll go to the Makotl grounds and we'll travel up there.
I give them stuff they want in exchange for stuff I want.
What do they want?
Asura stuff from the river bottom. One Asura sinks with it, others pay to get it back.
I will say, guys, that this chapter for the Asura is particularly short, and it will get very radical very quickly, actually. Why the Inquest wants our weather converter, why Kudu wants it, will become apparent very, very, very quickly. So, I hope to see you guys next time, where we'll probably finish that and get straight into the Orders storyline, which is the most important aspect of the Asuran quests altogether, where we're going to learn a little bit, finally, of maybe how to fight the Elder Dragons. That will be next time. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.
I haven't examined them yet, but I highly doubt
decide
it.
what to pursue for my research project.
How about a weather control machine? Think of the possibilities for mischief. You could deny water from farms, bury the city under a blizzard.
Right. Like no one has ever thought of that before. I need something original.
The eternal alchemy holds the answer, if only we can divine its full influence.
More gifted alchemists than you have tried to crack the code.
Were they willing to do anything? Sacrifice anyone for their work?